Hello, my name is Amy Tackett, and I decided to do my area of interest project on the production of muffins. I wanted to learn more on how muffins are made on a large scale. A little background on muffins. They came from the French word mouflette, but the actual true origin of muffins comes from Britain, and they do have a little bit of an American influence. I enjoy muffins very much, which is another reason why I chose muffin production. I love that they're a cross between bread and cake, and that they can be sweet or savory, and you can have them pretty much any time of the day. You can have them as a snack, have them dessert, have them with dinner. If you have a corn muffin, say with some jalapenos in it, you can have that pretty much any time of day as well. I did some research on different ways they're produced and came across a lot of articles about different types of flours, different types of sugar substitutes, ways that food scientists are trying to make muffins healthier and more nutritious. Because I believe, and I think I have a lot of people I know that are the same way, that muffins are regarded as both a treat and as a healthier alternative to cupcakes. Because typically you don't put frosting on a muffin. You see muffin as more of a healthier alternative. So when looking at the different types of flours, you can see you can increase nutrition by using something like quinoa flour or even almond flour, but you can also try to avoid gluten, which is a huge market right now. And just a sample of using like these quinoa and amaranth flours. Letter A is made with whole wheat flour, and then the B through E are made with different types of aldean flours, which included quinoa and included amaranth. Now, if you look at, of course, the color is going to be different, but if you look at the actual performance of the inside of the muffin, there's not really a whole huge difference, which I found very interesting. Now, this could be very good for those with celiacs, very good for those that are looking to incorporate more healthy ingredients and still have a good performing muffin. So when you get down to the actual production of the muffin, the mixing method is important for the overall performance. So they typically use the muffin method, or they can also use the all-in method or the creaming method. So it doesn't matter which method that they use. The most important part is that it's critical not to overmix the batter. Overmixing the batter can toughen up the glutens and get them to form faster. It's going to make the it's going to make the muffin dry, and it's going to make it tough, and it's going to lead to an overall, poor eating experience, which is what you're trying to avoid. So after you mix it, and you're looking at a large-scale operation, your depositors, if you're using if it's a small little retail outlet, they can use little manual scoops, like little small cookie ice cream scoops. Or if you look at here, this is a commercial depositor that can fill up 4 cups at a time. Some of the depositors can look at filling dozens or even hundreds of cups at a time. So these are, really big depositors. But these are important because they are very good at having the consistent weight that is set for them. And so you don't have to worry about, not having an uneven product. Everything should look exactly the same. So once it's been deposited, it's going to be time to bake. So the smaller retail operations use these convection or rotary ovens to bake their muffins. The baking temperature is going to depend on what type of muffin you're using, what type of muffin you're looking to make. If you're trying to make a dome top, or peak top, if you want more of the flat top. All of those are going to vary, and so those baking temperatures should be tested and adjusted so it comes out with the right texture and the color that is desired. So here is the semi-automatic production line that I came across, and I thought this thing was just really interesting because this particular model, it's in a U shape, and it's made this way so that way it saves space in the production facility. It also reduces the amount of manual labor that you need And then this particular model can facilitate making 5,000 to 12,000 muffins per hour. And that's depositing, baking, and cooling. And so I just thought that was just crazy that it can make that many muffins in 1 hour. Now, a fully automatic production line can do the panning, baking, and cooling. And this is a much bigger production line, and it can handle even more production than the semi-automatic. I wasn't able to get the numbers on how many exactly it can make in an hour, but apparently it could be a lot more than the 5,000 to 12,000. Now, and I really liked these devices here. This is other equipment that can be used for automation. So the very top left corner, we have the paper cups denester. So that's going to automatically put those paper cups into the pans for you before you dispense the batter. The robot at the bottom, which I think may be a little bit over the top, but these bad boys can pick up all those muffins or cakes, whatever you want to be making, but pick up all those muffins and move them over to your final packaging part. The decanter and overturn device there in the middle is where it'll literally take all those baked muffins when they're ready to be cooled, overturn it, and move it to the next station to let them cool off completely before putting into their next, if they're going to get filled, or if they're going to get decorated, or if they're just going to go straight into a packaging. Seeing these in action are pretty incredible. And so here are the references for where I found all of my information, and I hope you found this information useful. Thank you very much.